goat cheese is the star of Fiery Goat Dip. So I've got the goat cheese all sliced and it's ready to go. And then I've already started sauteing some onion and garlic. And I'm going to add some white wine just to deglaze everything that's gone on in here so far. I'm gonna turn up the heat. And then I'm gonna add a can of fire roasted tomatoes. Part of where the fiery goat comes in. And then a jar of roasted red peppers sliced up. And I'm letting the juice go in and everything. So I know it looks like a lot of red, but this is one of those things that you pull out from under the broiler and just set it down with the crostini. And before you know it, it is literally gone. It's that good. Do you guys like goat cheese?
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Goat cheese is my favorite cheese in the whole entire world.
It's just, it's really like a mystery how delicious it is. Oh, I forgot. Italian seasoning. Got to season things up. And paprika. This has a lot of flavor, this sauce. And some crushed red pepper flakes. I wonder how much I go through in a year. I mean, there's no telling. I love this stuff. All right, and that's another place that fiery comes into play.
All right.
There's a theme here, there's a theme. Okay, so now I just need to stir this around and cook it for about 10 minutes until it's cooked down, and then I'll move forward with the dip. Okay, Paige, check it out. It has reduced so much in just that 10 minutes. So what you want to do is make sure the sauce is off the sides of the pan and mostly just in a neat, single, even layer. And then you grab these coins of goat cheese and just arrange them on top. You don't have to really stick them too far down in the sauce, but you want to nestle them just a tiny bit. And you can only imagine what's going to happen from here. I don't believe that you don't like goat cheese, Alex.
Okay.
I just don't believe it. And I'm going to use all the goat cheese too. Look at that. All right, Paige, let's go to the oven. And I've got the broiler on. So I'm going to stick it under the broiler and I'll stand here and babysit it. And when it's kind of melted and slightly golden, I'll take it out and we'll dive in. Hello. Check it out. How good does that look? Okay, just some parsley. I'm just gonna tear it because I'm lazy and I can't find my knife, if we're being honest. Sprinkle it over. So you actually need to let this sit about 10 minutes before you let anybody dive into it because that cheese is so hot. It's basically like lava at this stage. But serve it with a little bowl of crostini. Just let everyone go in, or you can have little plates. Everybody can kind of get their own piece of goat cheese. To me, this and a bottle of wine is the perfect dinner for one. Just kidding.
Devilishly hot pimento cheese dip.
Oh, yes.
Sean's gonna jump right in. Oh, and now, Jeff, will you help me?
Yes, I will.
I need the cauldron made.
Okay.
So we have this pumpernickel boule. Boule, right? Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
So we're basically taking things where the color makes sense. So you're gonna flip it upside down because now we want the cauldron feel.
I got you.
And you're gonna cut off like the first 2 inches of this, and then you're gonna hollow this boule out.
Very good, just
and
like this,
then you're gonna
right?
take out the bread, but you're gonna make cubes because we're gonna eat that later.
Can't waste that.
No
Can't waste that. All right, so in here I have butter and onions and garlic, and I cook that on low because you don't want to burn the garlic.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna start adding my spices. So I have some paprika. I have some mustard powder.
Yes.
Okay. And now this is cayenne for some spice.
There you go.
And you're just putting all of these herbs in here so they can toast and they can just be mixed into the butter. And then I'm gonna add some salt, which I call compliments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you don't use it,
you don't get compliments.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, I like
that, Carla.
So you put in some flour because we're basically gonna make a roux. So we're doing our bechamel for the cheese sauce. So I have some warm milk here, and it gets this skin on it. Don't worry about that. We're just gonna stir that back in because it's Halloween. It looks kind of gross and nice for the holiday.
It's important to have warm milk, we always say, so you don't get lumps.
Yes.
Cold milk isn't good.
So as you can see, I'm gradually adding the milk.
Love
Okay,
it.
last little bit in there. All right, Jeff, can you give me that cream cheese? Let's have that.
Let's do it. You want me to plop it in there for you?
Well, not on my brooch.
Not on your brooch.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
I am the...
All right, and you know why we're using yellow cheese and
Yes.
not white cheddar?
Why?
Because pimento cheese is yellow.
Yeah.
It always is. Learning new things every day.
All right, so cheese, let's put some chease in
I
here.
had it as a sandwich. You ever had the pimento?
Yes, pimento.
Yes, on white
Yes.
bread.
Every. It's so simple. A little late to the party here, buddy.
Let me just tell you this. If I stopped right here, I could have just mac and cheese sauce.
That's what
could
that
be.
is, basically,
Right,
yeah.
this is what this is. But I just added some pimentos, which are chopped up there.
It's great. Just like canned pimentos, jarred pimentos,
That's
right? You want them
Or
all
could-
in, right?
Yep. Or you could use some roasted peppers and put those in. And then I have some green chilies because we want this devilishly spicy.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay, so let's taste this.
This is great. I love what it's double taste, double spoons.
My mouth's
Same time.
watering because this is
Shots on
comfort
egg.
food for me.
Water mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right.
That's good heat. You know it's only a little hot. It's good.
It's kind of like creeping up
It's
on
good.
you. All right, so you want to do the honors and put it in there?
All right, we're gonna pour it right into this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pour it right
man.
into our bowl.
This is, I'm glad, this is a great single serving.
A little bit of Italian sausage in there.
Oh, there you go, son. It's
Yeah,
a couple
man.
ruining a good thing. You gotta put meat in it.
That's game day official right there. Are you kidding
That
me?
is true. That would be great.
Oh my God.
Right?
Look how good
I think
that looks.
chorizo would be good in there,
Oh,
too.
that's
Oh,
right.
that would be good.
I'll take it.
I think you could do two bowls, one with meat, one without.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now is put it under the broiler so it's gonna brown nicely.
Gosh.
I'll show you how to open.
Okay, go to down.
You just gotta be careful when you open things up in this. Okay. Yeah, you just
Making sure.
animals
You
coming out. They wouldn't do that to our guests. I
they
hope
wouldn't.
They
not.
might.
Because that would, sure, we would be covered in pimento.
Okay.
Right? You put that right in front of me. I want
Okay, all right,
this.
I'm coming over there. Okay, here, let's
Right
see.
here. Oh, this
okay,
is
I'm coming
hot.
over
Want me to
here.
lift it
Look at
for you?
this.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so what we have done
Oh my goodness.
is we've taken those cubes here. They're like the logs of the campfire.
Right.
And then here are the flames.
Coals, yeah.
With the,
God.
Right?
Carla,
Stop
stop that. Too
Stop
cute.
it right
Stop
now.
too cute.
Okay, this feels good. And the bread gets kind of toasty.
Oh my gosh. This is all for
Look
me.
at
Oh,
that.
that's beautiful.
Look at that.
Should I put this in it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because
I
it's a
don't-
cauldron.
Yeah, it completes the picture.
Great.
This reminds me of Clash of the Titans.
Jeff, you want some of this?
Of course I do. You
You want a
know,
little
but
plate?
I'm just worried.
What are you worried about?
It's so hot. No, it looks good. Oh, look at that top. I got a little bit of that
cheesy.
crusty caramelization on top.
Devilishly.
I want that bite on top.
Oh, man.
You know what? Well, it's good. It's thick enough to hold.
Carla Hall. First of all, it's the best pimento cheese, spread, dip, whatever I've ever had, right? Because that spice level, it's never like
Yeah.
this. It's like 3 degrees spicier than what I'm used to, and it's necessary. It's so good.
All right, so today I'm making a really fun dip. It's my barbecue chicken and pepperoni dip.
Oh.
Ooh. Very easy to make. First things first, you start off with a homemade barbecue sauce. So in this little sauce pot right here, I'm gonna put in some onion, a little bit of garlic, get in there for some flavor. A little heat from the red chili flakes. Always say better than just pizza, you know? You can use them all around the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Right.
Apple cider vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce right there.
The original umami.
Yeah, the original umami.
Yeah, original.
I mean,
Way before
so
that,
many
where it was even,
ingredients
like, a
in there
big
that
deal.
really give it
Even
that
before
unctuous
fish
flavor.
sauce. Yep.
And then to that, a little bit of cola.
So you're not browning anything because it's all you're adding all that liquid, yeah.
Caramelization from the cola, and you can use root beer as well. It's really delicious.
Yep.
A little bit of ketchup.
I like to keep it a little more healthy and use Diet Cola in my.
So you cook this down for about 25 minutes, and it just becomes nice and thick, like a barbecue sauce consistency. You can add a little bit of salt and pepper to flavor it. Cream cheese, and then to that, you wanna help me mix?
Yes, ma'am.
Got a whole chicken diced for rotisserie, the dark and the white meat. To that, I'm gonna add that barbecue sauce that we made to help you kind of mix it. That goes in, just a cup of it. Then I'm gonna add a little bit more flavor with Italian seasoning.
These tailgaters don't know what to have coming.
Hello.
We're not even making it in the stadium. I'll be taking a nap.
Forget
Right?
the game.
Some scallions there, white and green parts. And then before I started, I just sauteed 2 ounces of pepperoni that I
gotta have
chopped up
pepperoni.
and a little bit of
I salute
olive
you.
oil. You like that?
I love it.
So you salute me?
I think pepperoni is like, you know.
It's a major food group.
Yeah, it
It is a major food group, you know what I mean?
Underrated.
Underrated food
So
group,
that
for
goes
sure.
in. To that, the cheddar Monterey Jack blend.
Yeah, you and Jeff Mauro don't mess around with your dips.
Oh, we ain't playing, we ain't playing. I spent my time in the Midwest, I know what's up. And then some mozzarella goes in right
There
there.
you go.
Wow.
Now all that goes into a little casserole dish. You got that?
Yep.
It's a lot.
You know,
of-
Americans.
There's a lot going on, but I got
Last year, Americans spent $35 billion on tailgating food.
What?
Look,
There you go. B25, just to melt it for about 20-25 minutes, and it's good to go. Give it a taste.
I love that you put out apples with that.
Yeah, I love chicken and apples together, and I mean, it is so cheesy goodness with a lot of fattening ingredients, so why not throw some fruit and vegetables out? And also,
Absolutely.
pretzel sticks are great for this as well. You wanna give it a taste?
Should I try it with an apple?
Yeah, apples are best.
Granny
I love
Smith are my
apples.
favorite, yeah.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
goes.
look out. Oh. Yeah!
So I've already fried a lot of pieces of bacon, took them out, and I didn't even drain the fat from the bacon. I just put the ground beef right in. And I'm just crumbling it to get it started. I'll crank up the heat, and I'm gonna season it with some seasoned salt and pepper. So what I love is that the ground beef is basically cooking in bacon grease, so the finished dip is just gonna have that bacon cheeseburger vibe everywhere you turn. All right, so this is just gonna take me a few minutes. I wanna totally brown the beef, and I'm gonna use this spatula just to break it up as I go. Okay, the beef is totally browned. That didn't take too long. So I'm just gonna try to drain off as much of the fat as I can. There, that works. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit and cool for just a minute, and I'm gonna move forward with the dip. So I've got 2 blocks of softened cream cheese in this baking dish. All right, so the cream cheese is spread. I'm gonna sprinkle on a little bit of pepper just for fun. I have some freshly grated cheddar cheese. I'm gonna add half of it to the cream cheese. And then, you guessed it. Okay, so then I'm gonna add all the beef. And if there's a little bit of juice, that's good. No worries, you don't have to drain all the fat.
It's just extra flavor.
Oh, how does this look so far?
Amazing.
All right, now, this is kind of cool. Way to go, guys.
Ruining it.
I know.
Yes, ketchup.
Ketchup.
I'm on your side, Mom.
Thanks, Paige. You gotta have ketchup and mustard in your cheeseburgers, right?
Heck yeah.
This is an interesting piece of trivia. Lad never eats mustard unless it's on a bacon cheeseburger. He doesn't eat it on a regular cheeseburger. Worcestershire. And you can mix the ketchup, mustard, and Worcestershire with the ground beef if you want to, or if you just want to take the easy road, just do it all in the pan. And I'm gonna add half of the bacon pieces. Yum, yum, yum. And then, you guessed it, the rest of the cheese. This is gonna be incredible. Now, the dip is not the only aspect of this dish. Look at what I have over here.
Oh no. Oh.
Fresh rolls. These are actually frozen dinner rolls, and I let them thaw and rise. And I have some garlic butter. It's just a mix of fresh garlic and butter that I melted in the microwave. So I'm gonna generously brush this butter on all the buns. Okay, so basically we're gonna turn these rolls into sort of hamburger buns. So I have some sesame seeds, and I'll just sprinkle sesame seeds on each of the rolls. The butter's gonna help them stick. And this is such a cute presentation. It's got a real hamburger vibe with the sesame seed buns. Alrighty, so let's go to the oven, Alex. So the cool thing is the dip and the rolls bake at the same time. So I'll put the dip in and the rolls. And both of them are gonna bake at 375 until the rolls are golden and the dip is bubbly. It's gonna take about 17 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's start with the rolls.
Oh my goodness.
How cute are these? And the dip.
Wow.
Check that out.
What?
Oh my. It's not gourmet, it's not fancy, but I wanna dive into this pan right now. But I'm gonna wait because I have a couple more little adornments. More ketchup, Alex, but just for fun, just a drizzle. My ketchup don't drizzle. Okay, mustard, and just a little bit. You don't wanna have big globs of condiments on top. And then I'm basically gonna make this like a deconstructed bacon cheeseburger. So I'll top with shredded lettuce. I don't wanna totally cover up the dip though. And some diced tomatoes. You could do slices like you would on a burger if you prefer. Pickles.
Oh
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I love this. And then sprinkle on a whole bunch of the leftover bacon. I love it. I think we should try it out right now. Paige, you wanna come help me?
Yes,
Come over here, my child.
because I like ketchup.
Get one of these, garlic rolls. Here, I'll break one in half.
Yum. So
then-
how are you?
I say we just go in with a spoon.
Oh my
Come in here, Alex.
gosh. That looks so good.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, I'm just going for it.
I'll take some dips from the plates over here.
Oh my gosh, Mom, that is so good.
Is it good?
This is really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, my white hot pizza dip.
Oh,
How about that? Katie, I'm gonna put you on garlic knot duty
Okay.
because we need 12 knots, please.
Okay.
So you're gonna do a 12 and then roll those 12 out long enough to just tie it into a knot.
Okay.
So these are gonna be like traditional garlic knots. That's a homemade pizza dough. You can get the recipe at foodnetwork.com/thekitchen. Really nice, hydrated, fluffy, well-proof dough. That's what you want. Let's work on the white dip part, starting with mascarpone.
What?
This is, right, Italian cream cheese, essentially, and dips love cream cheese. It's a great vehicle for a lot of flavors. A ton of Parmesan.
Yeah.
Boom. Ricotta cheese. A little ricotta right in there for some little, like I like to call clumpy creaminess, Jeffrey. Little texture in there. Katie, very nice job. Now, my little own addition is some roasted garlic, roasted right in the bulb. You cradle it in some foil, you throw it in the oven while you're preheating, whatever, and it just mellows the garlic and gives it a whole nother kind of caramely roasted flavor that I love. So we're gonna use half of this, and the rest of it's gonna go into the butter. Look at this, look at it. That garlic just turns into a paste instantly in that bowl, so you mash it around a little bit. And then the last white hot ingredient, some fresh grated whole milk, low moisture mozzarella, my favorite to use.
Moisture.
You gotta have low moisture. Yeah, low moisture. Oh, you get that chew then, that stringiness. That's how you get those dramatic cheese pull. Low moisture whole milk.
We love
The
a
other
cheese
half is
pull
gonna
at
be
the kitchen.
saved. Oh, we do love a cheese
Katie,
pull.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to make a garlic knot like that. Can you just slow down and do one?
It's this beautiful dough that's so nice and stretchy, and I'm just taking it and putting it into a knot.
But then you
And
like
that's it.
turn it inside out.
Yeah, and then I kind of just sealing it at the bottom and
This is
putting
beautiful.
them in there.
Yeah, look at
Like,
you.
I only
This is
asked for
fun.
12. Katie's doing, you're like 24. You're going
You know, I wasn't
above and
listening,
beyond.
Jeff.
No, that's all right. I can tell.
You asked for 12.
Little salt, right? I don't want to, no, I'm not doing, I want to stick to the white hot dip.
Right, no pep.
No pep. You can use white pepper, but
Yeah, I don't like that.
it's gonna get oozy in the oven. Katie, that is looking great. What we want to do is let that sit in our cast iron pre-grease skillet, just like that, right? You need that olive oil on the bottom to help it unstick. Let it proof for another hour till it doubles in size, and this is what we're looking like. Look at them knots,
Oh my God, those look like cinnamon rolls.
right?
Yeah.
Here
And
we
I'd
go.
rather have this than a cinnamon roll.
Can you be tacky, Jeff, and buy the garlic knots at your local pizzeria, make
Raw?
the dip, and pretend that you made the knots?
Oh, Without a doubt.
Okay, cool.
As long as you bake them with this, because that's kind of like, you know, the magic. That's what happens. Look at this. So now we're cradling this white hot pizza dip with them garlic knots and making this just one pan dip here. Pull and peel, if you will. Look at that.
People are
What's
going
not
to
to
go nuts
like?
for it.
This is dramatic.
It's a white hot pizza dip. Nobody's doing this besides me. Next, we got some
just
melted
white
butter
hot
because
pizza.
we got to bless the garlic knots, right? We got to baptize them with some butter, okay? Some parsley in there because you got to get vegetable greens. Next come that roasted garlic,
More
whatever's
garlic.
left.
Oh.
What the heck is going on here, Jeffers?
Wow.
I can't stand myself today.
What would you guys drink with this?
Ooh.
I drink about 6 beers per year, and I would bust out a beer
This
for
would be one of the ones?
I think so, and I think any beer qualifies.
I'm actually
Like a 40 ounce, I think malt liquor, it doesn't matter.
Well,
I'd
Do
like
it.
to see that, Alex.
I'm gonna go with tradition. I'm actually making an Italian Lambrusco spritz after this.
Oh, well, that'll
I
go
love
very nice.
Lambrusco. That'd be
La, la.
perfect
Lambrusco,
with
the
this.
underrated red wine.
Yes, a little fizz.
Yes.
Now we have a little garlic
pinch.
salt right on top.
excited.
Last but not least, because I don't like to waste anything.
Oh, no. No
That-
waste around
Oh
here.
my
That
God.
mozzarella
More
right
cheese,
on top.
Yes.
This is
Don't you
how
love
are
a
you-
hot dip when there's the layer of the melted cheese
Something
on
is not
top?
right about this.
There is nothing.
Super decadent.
There's so much not right that it's not even wrong, Jeffrey. And what I
Oh,
do
wow.
need is probably a pallet jack to get this to the oven. So this is going into the oven, 400 degrees, 35, 40 minutes. You got first bite, buddy. Are you ready for the unveiling?
my
This
God.
is a two-hander lander, guys.
You guys,
Wow.
come
Look at
on.
that.
Oh my God, it
Still?
looks like a
Wow.
pizza.
It's a pizza minus the bottom crust. Let's garnish. I got a couple garnishes here that I got from Jeffrey's pantry.
Oh my God.
Little
Are you
chili
making fun of
flake.
me?
A little chili flake.
Jeff-
Little
Yes.
pepperoncini, as
Yes.
Jeffrey says. Some basanegal. We're gonna do a little.
Don't you want to tap the basil for the
Yes.
oils?
Oh, you gotta.
Oh, wake it up.
You
No,
gotta,
you gotta do it. You slap it.
Listen, you could totally omit all garnish, but I don't know. I'm just kind of free forming, and then a little extra parm.
And you gotta say, in a cast iron, Jeff is genius because it's gonna stay warm for about an hour.
Dude,
You're right.
Yeah, you know, the thermal capacity of a cast iron skillet is bar none. All right, Katie, you are up here.
This is so gorgeous for a holiday party.
This is stunning.
It's a proud moment.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
proud of you
stunning.
all.
guys.
Like, even the knife wants to
As
get
a
in there.
family member.
It's like the cast iron skillet doesn't want to give the. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
You're just showing
Look
off.
at
That's wrong.
that.
That's wrong.
Come
And, we
on.
submit
Come
it.
on. He's so dramatic
Yeah,
with
you.
that.
It's okay. Big deal.
You know I had to be
I know you
dramatic
have to
with
be
that.
dramatic.
You know, it's
You love
kind
My
of-
drama.
mouth is watering just looking at this.
It kind of it has like a little Parker House roll vibe too.
Totally.
Oh my God. Look how hot it is.
This is spectacular. I mean, all that gooey, creamy cheesiness that you love on a white pizza with the little heat of those crushed red chili flakes. Whoa. But all the roasted garlic coming through and those delicious garlic knots. I love, 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 love this.
Our good friends in town are having a holiday party, and I'm gonna take a delicious Mediterranean artichoke dip. It's sort of a play on traditional artichoke dip. I'm gonna take it warm and just put it right on their buffet table. I've been chopping up some canned artichokes. I left some bigger chunks and then cut up most of them into smaller pieces, and that will be the base of the dip. I've got a whole bunch of other things to add. Some green olives and some Kalamata olives. I've got a couple cloves of garlic that I minced. And this is a super easy ingredient, jarred pimentos. I drained off most of the liquid, and I'll just add them all in there. I've also got a bunch of minced parsley. And now for the creamy, cheesy ingredients, which I think are the best part. I'm gonna add a good cup of mayonnaise, just squirt it right out. Add about a quarter cup of sour cream. Now for the cheesy, about half a cup of Parmesan, some Monterey Jack cheese because it melts nice and creamy. And this is one of the plays on regular artichoke dip, some feta. Just add some chunks and it'll break up as I stir everything together. Salt and pepper come next. And another ingredient that isn't very standard with artichoke dip, hummus. I'll add about ½ a cup. Since this is Mediterranean artichoke dip, I thought it would be a really cool thing to add with all the other ingredients. Now, I'll stir all this together. I'm gonna put it into a baking dish. Oh, it smells delicious. This is one of those dips that really has stood the test of time. It's one of those things that disappears when it's on a table at a party. Before it goes into the oven, just a little more cheese on top, some Parmesan, and the rest of the Monterey Jack. Okay, I'm gonna get this into the oven. It's gonna bake at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes till it's hot and bubbly. And while it does, I wanna show you something else. Mini bagel chips. So delicious, perfect thing to go with the dip. Let me walk you through how to make them. I added 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds to a mini processor with a teaspoon of dried oregano, 1½ teaspoons of dried mint, ½ a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper, and pulsed until they were finely ground. Then poured them into a bowl, added ½ a cup of olive oil, and 1/4 a cup of melted butter. Stirred it all together, then brushed it on 10 mini bagels I'd cut into 4 horizontal slices, and then baked them at 350 for 8 minutes. I'm gonna let them sit on this rack and crisp up a bit. It's gonna take about 20 minutes while the dip finishes baking. Oh, look at that. Cheesy and bubbly and absolutely perfect. I've got the mini bagel chips in a cute little basket. And I'm gonna cover the dip so it'll stay warm, and then I'll go ahead and head to town. I think this is gonna be a real Christmas time hit.
Oh, I got something. How about a lasagna dip? I use the already cooked lasagna sheets, fry it, and use that to dip the lasagna dip with. Oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. I'm starting off with the bell pepper. I'm just gonna dice this up pretty finely. I'm gonna saute the bell peppers, the onions, and the garlic with my beef and Italian sausage. I'm gonna make a meat sauce with that. I'm gonna chop up my onion, and I have 2 cloves of garlic that I'm gonna mince up. All right, so I've got my onions, my bell pepper, my garlic minced up. I'm gonna come over here and fry it up. Hit my pan with some olive oil. My pot is hot. These. A little salt helps soften them up. The smell of something good starting, I'll tell you, as soon as oil hits garlic and onion, just unlocks all of your senses. So this is mild Italian sausage that I have here and 80-20 ground beef. And what I like to do is break down my meat so it will no longer kind of be in that sausage link form. It smells incredible in here. And my favorite part of lasagna is this stuff, the meat, the cheese, and the ricotta. I mean, I like the pasta, but if I could just eat the meat and the cheese, that's what I want to do. So my meat has browned. Now it's time to build this sauce. I have some leftover pasta sauce here. This is about 6 ounces of tomato paste. All right, I'm just gonna add just a little bit of water. I'm gonna eyeball it. Of course, we gotta season it. Some salt, pepper, a teaspoon of sugar. Sugar helps cut the acidity. And so, I mean, my mom always added sugar in her pasta sauces, so I've been doing it ever since. A little bit of sugar goes a long way in tomato sauce. So I'm gonna let this cook down for about 5 to 10 minutes. While that's cooking down, I'm gonna make my bechamel sauce. I got 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna add in about a cup of whole milk. And with the bechamel sauce, you definitely wanna keep whisking because you don't want it to burn at the bottom. This is starting to thicken up. I got some leftover Parmesan cheese, so I'm just gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna season this sauce. About a half a tablespoon of garlic powder, a little bit of Italian seasoning. You don't need it too much because dried herbs go a long way. Let me hit it up with a pinch of salt and some cracked black pepper. All right, so I'm gonna turn that heat off, grab my skillet, and assemble this dip. So take some of the bechamel sauce and just put it on top. I love to experiment in the kitchen. You know, I've been like that since I was younger. I think I've been like this my whole life. I just never was the type to kind of like go along with the program. I've always wanted to just do my own thing and kind of like go against the grain. Add it on the corner just like that. I'm getting all of that. All right, I got some whole milk ricotta here that I had in my fridge. I'm not gonna do anything special to this. I'm just gonna dollop it right on top. I love ricotta. Something about the flavor of it. It's gonna give it a really nice creamy texture when it cooks. That's it. All right, got some Italian blend cheese here. So when this melts, it's gonna get all bubbly. It's gonna rise up. This is gonna brown on top. It's gonna be cheesy. Last but not least, I'm going to cut up some fresh parsley, just to add a little bit of greenery, a little herbiness. Oh, look at that, y'all. My oven is preheated to 375. I wanna bake this until it gets golden brown. I think it'll take about 30 minutes. And I also, because I know how my lasagna likes to spill over, I have a sheet pan at the bottom there to catch any of those drippings. Got some lasagna sheets here. We're gonna make lasagna chips. Let me grab my dip. Oh, y'all. All right, let me grab a plate. I have to sit down and really enjoy the creation I just made.
This is my spicy 5-ingredient spinach artichoke dip. Let's get started. So I've already got my 5 ingredients out and my oven is preheated to 375 degrees. Now, 5 ingredients: spinach, artichokes, whipped cream cheese with chives, sour cream, and shredded pepper jack cheese, okay? That's all we need to make this dish. I've got my pan. I'm gonna turn it on and get it ready to go, because we're gonna saute some of this baby spinach. We've got a nice jar here of my artichoke hearts. I've got them marinated in oil, because it's, you know, when you're doing 5 ingredients, you really need each ingredient to come with more than just one flavor profile if you can. It needs to come in and pack a punch. So if you can see right here, all that flavor that's going on in here, I'm just gonna drain it out. And I'm gonna maximize my ingredients. That flavorful marinade that's in there, I'm gonna use some of that to cook my spinach. So about 3 tablespoons. I know I'm holding on to my measure, but about 3 tablespoons. And then I've got a big old, what we like to call in the business, the clam shell of love. It's baby spinach. You get more than you think that you're gonna need. Same thing with mushrooms, because it cooks down really, really fast. And what I like to do is just kind of get it in batches, because then you can kind of work it around and make sure everything hits that heat and starts to wilt for you. And you'll start to see it get really, really, really bright, you know, just kind of like as if you're blanching it. And then all of a sudden it starts to wilt. You got a little bit more room. As soon as you start seeing some space in the pan, you can start adding some more. Now, also smart to hit it with a little bit of salt. That doesn't count in the ingredient count. Salt and pepper, and usually like the fat, you know, if it's like olive oil or something. But I decided not to use olive oil. I mean, we've got the oil in there that's marinating the artichoke hearts. When I was growing up, my mom used to always have these soirees at the house, and she wouldn't make like artichoke dip. She would just get like the real raw artichoke, slice it in half, broil it, deliciousness. All right, more in. See, we're so healthy. We're gonna eat all the spinach. All right, so I'm gonna move this around. A little bit more salt helps wilt it down. Plus, we like to season every layer. I used to go crazy in the produce section, making sure everything is like pre-washed. I'm like reading those labels like crazy, so make sure you read the label. All right, so we've got our artichoke hearts while we're waiting on everything to wilt down there. I'm just gonna give them a nice chop. come in and be random. Gonna mix it all in together with the other ingredients, our cream cheese, a little shredded pepper jack. And I do that because like I said, few ingredients, they gotta come through with a flavor profile. Boom. All right, so I'm gonna get these into my bowl. Coincidentally, if you didn't know, artichokes, super delicious and tasty, but the center of an artichoke is called the heart. It's the meaty center. It has like a rich, deep taste. All right, so now look at our spinach. It's getting to the point where we don't want it to burn or get dark brown and oxidize. And every once in a while, I'll even chop it down a little bit, but this is baby spinach, so right into the bowl with those artichokes. Get that in there. I'm gonna add 8 ounces of whipped chive cream cheese. I used to use, regular cream cheese, but whipped cream cheese is just what it sounds like. They've aerated it, so it's a lot softer, and you don't have to do that whole defrosting thing and leave it on the counter so it becomes pliable. It just comes right out and ready to mix into your recipes. All right, a little bit of sour cream. A 1/4 cup of sour cream is going in. And then our final ingredient, which is 8 ounces of pre-shredded pepper jack cheese. Got a little bit of fire in there from the pimento. Just come in and just mix it all up. Hit it with a little bit of pepper if you feel like it. I'm starting to smell the artichokes. Now remember, the oven is at 375 degrees. This is gonna take around 20 minutes. So 375. Is what I've got the oven at. I've got my little serving dishes here. Now, you can use an 8x8, you can do ramekins. This all just depends on the party you're throwing, you know what I'm saying? You can double this and make a big old 9x11. I'm gonna clean that up. But this gets in. Try and be even. And then I'm just gonna use a spoon to level off everything. It's okay if some of that hangs over the edge because, when it comes to the table at the restaurant, it's like bubbling and a couple of pieces of cheese are like burnt. That's the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? All right, remember the pepper jack cheese? It's getting double usage here. A little over the top. It's about 4 ounces. And I always say to myself, an ounce is like a slice. So it's like 4 slices of cheese, no big deal. NBD. Okay, 375 in the oven till it starts to get nice and bubbly around the edge. If you feel like it's not golden brown on the top, you can also throw the broiler on for a few minutes to get that curb appeal that you want, getting it in the oven. Meet me back here when your dip is ready. Ooh, it's piping hot. When they bring it to the table, they're like, don't touch it. It's really, really hot. It's like, we know that. I want to burn the roof of my mouth with this stuff. All right, I love serving this with tortilla chips, just like at the restaurant. If you want, you can put your tortilla chips in the oven on warm. That's anywhere from 150 to 200 for like 5 to 10 minutes. Just when you start seeing them glisten and the oils are coming to life on the inside. Let me dig up in here. What? Ooh, I like it when the chip breaks. It lets you know it is talking business in there. Look at that. Piping hot goodness. I'm gonna burn my roof in my mouth. I don't care. 5 ingredients. It gets no simpler, so you can make this warm, creamy, and full of melty, cheesy goodness. Definitely one of the most satisfying appetizers around, in my book at least. This is my 5-ingredient spicy spinach artichoke dip. Hope you enjoy.
It's lasagna dip and chips. I've just got ground beef and sausage browned. I'm gonna add a few more things. A can of diced tomatoes, juice and all, and a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. Got to have plenty of garlic in any lasagna dish. And then some salt and pepper. Keep things really seasoned for the season. I'm going to stir this all together, and then it needs to simmer for 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna make the cheese mixture for the lasagna dip. And so I've got about 1/3 cup of the cottage cheese and ricotta and about 1/4 cup of the Parmesan. And then I wanna make this really herby and delicious, so I've got some chopped basil and chopped parsley, and some salt and pepper. And then I'll just smush this all together. Okay, that is all mixed together. So now I'm gonna assemble the dip. It is a lot of fun. I'm gonna start with a layer of the meat sauce. I'll add half of it to the bottom of a square baking dish. Now I'll add dollops of the cheese mixture. Now, as if that's not enough cheese, I am gonna add a layer of grated mozzarella. Okay, now I'll repeat the layers one more time, the rest of the meat mixture. All right, and another layer of the creamy ricotta mixture, the rest of the mozzarella, and that's all there is to assembling it. Now I've got to bake it at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. Noodle chips coming right up. I cut boiled and cooled lasagna noodles into triangles, put all 80 of them into a bowl, then added 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan, a tablespoon of chopped fresh oregano, mixed everything together, split the chips between 2 sheet pans, baked them at 375 degrees for 20 minutes, then took the crispy wonders out to cool. All right, now I want to sprinkle some of these beautiful herbs over the top. Lasagna dip and chips, perfect for the holidays.
Crab dip that I'm making with Asiago cheese, some sharp cheddar, some cream cheese. I'm shredding about 1 cup of white cheddar, and I'm all about building flavors, even if it's in a dip. I want to get some of that creamy sharpness from the white cheddar and that nutty richness from the Asiago cheese, and I'm making sure I don't scrape my fingers. Ooh, that looks beautiful. I'm gonna use 8 ounces of room temp cream cheese. If you use cold, you'll get little clumps of cream cheese throughout your dip. You don't want that to happen. 1/2 cup mayo, 1/2 cup of sour cream, and the sour cream is gonna add some tanginess that I think works really well with that sharp cheddar. About that much heavy cream, a tablespoon lemon juice, and that's like 1/2 lemon. Drop in this cheddar and Asiago cheese. I love the smell of fresh crab meat, and I'm using claw meat because I really want the crab to be the star of the show. It's sweet, and it's gonna push through all the sharpness and the creaminess of the cheeses. I'm getting into this now, okay? I'm gonna add in some seafood seasoning. Gotta add a little hot sauce to this. It's gonna be really flavorful with a little kick of heat. Fold it in and see, and this is why I said it was so important to have room temp ingredients, because look how that's just effortlessly folding together. Okay, next step, transfer it into this 1-quart baking dish and pop it in the oven. Oh, wow. And you know what? I want to add some more cheese on top. Just spread that on top. This looks great. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I have it preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. I think my crab dip is done. Woo! Hot mama! Look at that. The guys are gonna love this. Get into it. How about that crab dip?
It's awesome. We're gonna patent that.
I got a big pizza oven in the backyard, wood-fired. Yeah, you gotta start it up about 3 hours before you want pizza. But there's been many a time where the kids will say, we want pizza. I'm digging around, it's whole wheat flour this and making sauce out of nothing. This is just a nice, quick, easy sauce to work with. We're gonna get some onions, some garlic, some chili flake. We'll put it all in there, okay? Chop on the onion, a little veg oil down. Okay, so that's looking good. Let me preheat this bad boy. Now here's the key to this. You know, pepperoni has a tendency to kind of sweat a little bit. You know, it's made up of the fat and the meat and it's cased. Well, what happens is when we cook it down, that's what we love about a pizza, is that it cooks the fat out and kind of sits up on top of the pizza, and that's what makes it taste so good. But sometimes it'd be a little too oily. So what I'm gonna do to kind of beat it to its punch is I'm gonna take some of this pepperoni, give it a little little slice, just to start some off, and I'm gonna sweat this pepperoni to help it out and give a little olive oil to do that. And what I'll do is let this get nice and crispy, almost like bacon. So it's gonna have that crispy pepperoni thing we love inside of the dip. Into this, a little bit of garlic. And this is gonna be for my cheese mixture that's gonna go on the bottom of this entire dip. There's a little dice on the garlic, a little cream cheese, 1 egg, some salt and pepper, a little bit of that chili flake, some oregano. Mix that into that cream cheese before I get all of those cheeses in there and make it real tough on myself. Little ricotta cheese and about 2/3 of the cup of that. And then Parmesan, you can't beat the saltiness of that. Now, here's the cheese mixture I have on the bottom of this. Cream cheese, ricotta cheese, and a little bit of the Parmesan cheese. Now this fast tomato sauce or pizza sauce, it's really thickened up. I let it reduce the San Marzanos, the peppers and the garlic. Next, some cremini mushrooms, some onions, and some red bell pepper. Look how nice those mushrooms are in there. Perfect pizza toppings. Now look at this, the pepperoni. I subliminally was forgetting it because I just wanted to keep there as a snacking tray. Those pieces, no, you don't want to put those in here. You want to leave those there. So the pepperoni goes on. Now the fresh mozzarella. Look at this. And here's the cool thing. This dip is ready to go. Just because it's a little bit to the right to the rim, I don't want it to be bubbling over. Lori gets really mad. Okay, we'll throw this down. 350, 15, 20 minutes. We'll let it go. Got some pizza dough, just kind of rolled it out, hit it with a little salt, little oil, cooked it off, and then right into this. Look at that. There's the cremini, the bell peppers, the mushrooms, the onions, the garlic. There's the little ricotta. You can, it's like, again, pizza on a stick. Perfect game day food.
My daughter Alex is headed to a get-together tonight at her best friend Meg's house. I'm gonna make a dip for her to take with her. I decided on hot corn chili dip. Now I've just been grilling 5 ears of corn. Now I'll let that sit and cool for a minute. And I have a skillet that I've been warming, and I'll add half a stick of butter. This is a luscious dip. So many flavors going on, and I love that you don't have to make it at the last minute. You can do it way earlier in the day. Okay, the butter's all melted. Now I'm gonna crank up the heat and I'll throw in some chopped onion. I've got some veggies and I wanna cook them over really high heat to get as much color on the outside as possible. And then 2 colors of bell pepper, green and red. And then I diced up a couple of fresh jalapenos. I split them open and took out the seeds and membranes because that's where all the really, really harsh spice is. And then just a couple of cloves of garlic that I minced really finely. Now, I'll just stir this around. I'm gonna cook these for a few minutes just until they start getting a nice, deep golden brown color. Meg has been Alex's best friend since they were really, really little. And this is very handy because Meg's mom, Hyacinth, and I have been best friends for a long time. All right, these veggies need a couple more minutes, so I'll just let those sit. And I'll slice the kernels of corn off the cobs. Okay, corn's all ready. Let me check on the veggies. They're starting to get nice dark brown bits. Perfect. So I will turn off the heat and let them cool just a little bit in the pan. And while they cool, I'll mix up the base for the dip. It starts with mayonnaise. I'll add about ½ cup, and then the same amount of sour cream. Now, I have an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. I made sure it was really soft so it would all mix together really easily. Now, I'll throw the corn in, because this is hot corn chili dip. I'll just kind of break them up when I add it. Oh, I love grilled corn. Okay, and then the peppers are cool enough to add. So I'll just throw those in. This is a really versatile dip, too. You can use whatever kinds of peppers, onions, veggies you want. Okay, 1 more big spoonful. And then I'll stir this around. There are jalapenos in this, but since they cooked, they're nice and mild, so you just get the flavor. Now I'll let that sit for a minute, and I'll grate up some cheese. I've got pepper jack cheese, but you can use just Monterey Jack or cheddar jack or just cheddar. I like using Monterey Jack whenever I'm putting something in the oven because it melts really nicely. That should be good on the cheese. So I'll add most of this in. And now, because this is corn chili dip, I'm adding 2 cans of diced green chilies, juice and all. Of course, you can roast your own chilies if you have them and if you have the time, but these canned ones are just delicious. I love them. I just have a couple more things to add. I've got some green onions, and I'll just slice them up. They add big flavor to this dip. Just sprinkle those in, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. If you wanted to kick this up a little bit, you could add some hot sauce, salsa, anything like that. Okay, the dip looks fantastic. Now it's time to get it into the baking dish. I've just got a regular 8-inch square dish, and I'll just pour it in. Okay, now to top it off, I'll just sprinkle on some extra pepper jack cheese. Now I'll just cover it with foil, and it'll be all ready to go in the oven. Now I'm just gonna grab some chips to go with it. I made a hot corn dip, and this needs to bake at 350 until it's hot and bubbly.
Okay, perfect.
Well, thanks for doing this.
Oh, sure.
I sort of threatened Alex that I was gonna join the party. She didn't look too happy about it. Well, I delivered my daughter. I delivered the dip. I'd say my work here is done.
Hey, guys. Are you hungry?
Yes.
This is what you've been waiting for.